So we know that the volume of a cylinder is formula is basically pi r squared times the height, right? So let's just label this cylinder over here that we have. Let's call this our sample cylinder here, or our example cylinder, our example diagram. Let's call it that. It's a way better name, right? So in our example diagram here, we have a few things. We have, firstly, we can name this right here, which is not really stated in the diagram, but I'm going to make it here. That's known as your diameter, which I'm going to state as a d, small letter d here. And that's just basically from one edge of your circle, the top, to another edge, like so, right? So that's the diameter. And it's basically equal to your radius times 2. I'll show what the radius is in a second. The radius is basically the distance from the center of the circle at the bottom here, or the top, to one of the edges, like so. As you can see, it's half of the diameter. So you can kind of state that your radius, right? Your radius is equal to half times of your diameter. Okay? Another thing you can kind of find here is the height. The height of a cylinder is from the top to the bottom, and it can basically be seen here. This is basically the height of your cylinder. Alright, so now let's do a sample question. Let's say that our numbers here were, let's say our height was 7 centimeters. Let's say our radius was 3 centimeters. And we wanted to figure out the volume of our cylinder here. So now all you have to do is just do some plug and chugging, as I would call it. So to do this, we know our volume is equal to pi, which we can just leave as pi, times my radius, which is 3 centimeters, squared, times the height, which is 7 centimeters. Now all we do is just plug this into our calculator here. Now for this depends on your teacher. Make sure your teacher wants either the pi button or 3.14. So I'm going to be using the pi button for this, right? So pi button, if you click it down, you should get on your calculator. Pi times 3 squared, 3 semi squared, times 7 gives you an answer of 197. 197 bananas, 197.9 centimeters cubed. So in this case, since I have a 9 here, I'm actually going to round it up to 198 centimeters cubed. Remember, the centimeters cubed, our unit, is super important. Don't forget to include the unit in your answer. Okay, so the volume of my cylinder over here is 198 centimeters cubed. And that's basically how you can find the volume of a cylinder.